everybody, it's Two Wheel Woman here, and I'm here to talk to you about Gerbing heated clothing that we use on the motorcycle when we go on long trips and stuff when you hit that severe weather. One thing that I found on the About Us on their Gerbing website, www.gerbing.eu, is that this originated by Gordon Gerbing in 1976 from the aeronautics industry, so this has been around for a long time and been perfected over the years. There are other product lines of heated clothing out there. However, we went with the Gerbing because we did a lot of research, we got recommendations from some friends, and one thing I really like about this product line is that it has a lifetime warranty. So let's talk about why you need heated gear. First of all, I think it's a safety reason. When you're out there on the motorcycle and your hands are getting cold and kind of freezing, I was running into that when I first started riding, and I was getting so focused in on my hands being cold that I wasn't paying attention to riding the motorcycle. And also being cold and being, miserable is physically exhausting after a while, and the last thing that you want to do when you're on a long ride is get exhausted, because when you get exhausted you make mistakes and that's when accidents happen. What I purchased was the jacket liner and the gloves. I also have the liner gloves that go inside of other gloves. The reason that I purchased those is because they're beneficial. You get caught in a rainstorm and stuff. I don't want these nice leather gloves getting wet, and so I can put the liner type gloves inside of a waterproof glove so that I don't have to worry about that getting damaged, and yet I still have the benefit of the heated gear. I also do that as far as the jacket liner goes. I have a leather jacket that I wear over this to maintain the heat, against my core. However, I have a rainproof jacket that I wear over this also when there's rain going on. And all of these pieces connect to each other. In addition to the other pieces that I don't have is the pants and the socks. I think those are more for real super severe weather. I don't, personally experience that. I live in Southern California, and so we haven't run into that. So I found that my chaps actually work really well for me, and I haven't had to go to the pants. But I have friends that have those other additional pieces, and they have great reviews about how they work. What we have is the 12-volt system, and so that means that there's a hot wire that actually connects to the battery on my motorcycle, and then that connects to the controller, which connects to all the jacket and connects to the gloves. Okay, so I want to give you some insight into how this all goes together. So first of all, we have our hot lead that is coming off of the battery, and that comes up through this pouch that we put on the bike, and then I have the red wire that is off of the controller, and that I plug into this, to the hot lead, and then I tuck all of this stuff down inside this pouch and tuck the controller down in here. So it's all nice and neat. And then I have my two wires that are going to connect to my jacket just coming off of here. And now I can actually fasten this over here so it's all safe and dry, and I don't have to worry about, rain or anything like that getting in there and ruining my controller. Okay, and so now I'm going to take the white wire off of my jacket and the white wire off of the controller and plug those two together. So that's how that is going to go. And then I take the black wire off of the controller and the black wire off of my jacket, and then I'm going to plug those two together. And so that's how that goes. And then that can tuck back in under here. And then I want to take my gloves and put my gloves on. I'm going to plug those in together there, and then put those on. One thing I like to do is the wire comes out of the jacket, out of this zipper pouch, and I pull just the end of the wire out and then zip this back up again. That way I don't have this big bulky wire hanging out here. And so I do the same thing with the next one. And then I'm ready to go take off down the road. When I want to access the controller, all I have to do is the black knob is for the black wire, the gray knob is for the white wire, And so I can make my adjustments as I go on down the road, and I don't have to even take my eyes off the road in the process of doing that. So I can keep my hands warmer and my jacket maybe cooler, however it, is more comfortable to me. Or I can just completely turn them off here at the controller also. There is a single controller and a dual controller. I highly suggest if you're going to do this that go with this dual controller, because you're going to want the additional pieces, and then you make one investment into a controller rather than having to buy two. So another nice feature of this jacket liner is that I can zip this completely up, and I can tuck my chin down in here and then have my helmet on, and I have absolutely no leaks and drafts and stuff. The wiring for this jacket goes all the way up into the collar, so it's heating my entire core and up my neck and right up into the collar. So I have uniform heat throughout with this jacket liner, as well as the gloves. The wiring for the gloves actually goes over the top of your hand and down into the top of your fingertips. And the reason for that is when you have your hand on the throttle, on the grip, you're going to have the wind blowing over the top of your hand, and so keeping that top of your hand warm is what is essential in keeping your hands warm when using this heated gear. So that's a great design feature of these gloves, and I really appreciate that. Always have the gear on you when you ride. I have the plastic pouch that my gloves came in, and I just keep the controller, both pairs of the liners, my gloves, all zipped up in this. It's nice and waterproof. It's really efficient. I know where it is. I just throw it into my bag and off I go. And so I don't have to struggle with where is this piece and that piece. And it's just really beneficial to have that when you do long trips. We did a long trip last July, actually, and we left here from Southern California, went up through California, went up the west coast of Oregon, across the Columbia River Gorge, and then down the eastern side of Oregon, and then back down through California. And on that trip, we experienced every level of weather that you could imagine. Going up, we were in 101 degree heat. And then when we got up into Oregon, we actually hit 40 degree weather and a little bit of rain. Even though it seemed like it was the middle of summer, why should I need this heated gear? I needed the heated gear on that trip. And it was very beneficial and just made me so much more comfortable and more efficient and safe. Two Wheel Woman definitely gives this heated gear a 2 thumbs up. And I think it's really necessary for your ride.